Welcome to Professional Networkers course on public speaking. I am Joseph Stover and this is segment 4. Okay, today the topic is feedback, and I also want to slide in there, be yourself. One of the really important thing as a speaker is to watch for feedback so you can adapt to it when you see it. Verbal feedback it can be very valuable to you as a speaker. One way you can do that is during your speech you might ask a question. Okay, when you ask that question, an audience may or may not respond verbally. Say yes or no, however you ask the question, or they might nod. That is what is still technically called a verbal feedback. So that kind of helps you along the way. Another thing that I use a lot is nonverbal feedback, which is important and very helpful to you. Nonverbal feedback can be several things. I'm only going to give you some examples, but it's not limited to. One is boredom. A person might tilt their head back, or they might kind of look at you straight forward, but yet they're kind of glossy-eyed, like they're thinking about pumpkin pie recipe or something like that. I'm just kidding. Or they just kind of slouch over or look away from you, or they don't face you. There's all kinds of different ways to kind of express boredom. Once if I notice the audience is starting to feel bored about what I'm saying, I will try to throw in some kind of anecdote or some kind of a joke or something to be personable to keep their attention attracted on what I'm trying to communicate. Also, when I'm sharing some information, I look for sometimes a person gives a nonverbal communication of disbelief. This can be communicated by averting of the eyes when somebody shares something. Have you ever shared something with someone and they kind of like look away at you? I'm trying to demonstrate, but I don't know if I'm doing it right. But we see these little cues that people do when, they don't believe me. Those are important to catch. So you can adapt to it in your speech. You might need to get a little more information, get a little bit more detail about what you just said to be sure you're being clear. Also, I look for body position. When a person is sitting kind of facing forward to the speaker following you, that usually means that they're being attentive to what you're saying, and that's a good sign. That's a good nonverbal cue. But be careful, because I've also noticed that what looks like a person's paying attention, if they're looking at you, facing you, but they're kind of playing with something in their hands, it could be a phone or whatever object, that's also another sign that they're pretending to look at you. They're not really focused on what you're saying. These are all really important cues that I mentioned because you want to be able to adapt to them. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to throw this in here. Be yourself. Be yourself when you're doing public speaking. Don't be a talking head. Let your personality come out and just, say it the way you normally talk to someone the best that you can. You actually establish a feeling of credibility with the audience. If your audience feels like you're being real, you're just being a real person in front, they have a tendency to kind of emotionally feel like they can trust what you're saying. You want your audience to connect with you in an authentic way. That helps a lot with them wanting to pay more attention and wanting to hear what you have to say.